How I do.
Let's get cracking!
Welcome back, everybody, here to our D2CL coverage, day number 1 of our newest season of the Dota 2 Champions League. I'm Toby1, your host for the English live stream, going into our second series of the night, as we have Team Empire, the Russians, going up against the boys, Team Tinker. A little bit of everywhere these boys get to be. Let's jump ourselves into the game. The draft's already underway, and a man joining me for my broadcast tonight is Clairvoyance. Welcome back again, man. 2 new teams and a whole new series.
Seriously, Toby, it's a good day to start off the day. Good way to start off the day, pardon me. The live stream wasn't having too much problems from what I know. I don't know too much.
I've actually not had, I've had a couple of people who have sent me messages like, oh, please give me Twitch chat, and, really? But, it's just been the general, stigma. But not a single person's actually messaged me saying, I've had a problem with the live stream today. It's been quite, I have actually 3 versions of the live stream running in just this studio alone, and not a single one has actually crashed or had problems with lag. So I'm like, yeah!
Well, that's good, man. Instead, you gave us no Twitch, but you went full Toby. By the way, how's your respiratory system? You need a cup of tea or something? Are you not dead yet?
I'm good. I'm really good. This is what I live for, man. So I live for it. You can cast some games which sometimes just drag on, but you have a game like that. There's just 6 minutes of pure adrenaline being inserted through the eyelids, and that's all you need. That's why we love Dota. We need more of that kind of stuff, and I'm hoping to get more of it in this game. We'll see if the draft will allow for such a thing. As we have a Razor back here again in the pool. Normally Razor doesn't really give those kind of games, unlike our last game, which it did. But we have an Earthshaker from Team Empire. Always on a fly, man. This has been happening from him in every single game, and I've been flagging it in every single game. If you don't ban both Mirana and Earthshaker, he'll pick one or the other. It's just that simple. He plays it all the time. Doesn't change it at all. That's just his opening move as far as drafting. Take care of yourself, and then let the rest of the world worry. And we actually get both, in fact.
Yeah. This actually reminds me a lot of when you were talking to me about the VP lineup, the Jodam, the drafter for the VP lineup right now, I believe. How he actually picked Podem for himself every game, and if that wasn't available, he would take the other thing, which I believe was actually the Earthshaker. So it might be a Russian thing right now. Which I have no problems with it, but just describing the game in general and how Razors pan out, Toby, I was a doubter, and I was down a lot last game, but I doubt no more because honestly, Team Empire versus Team Tinkerino, we casted them, I think, two different series so far. The second one, which was the previous one, I believe they had a stand-in on the side of Empire that started with M something, and it was just unfortunate for them because Empire actually just knocked out Team Tinkerino in the previous best of whatever, which was at the MSI, I believe, tournament. And it was so unfortunate once again because Solo, my favorite player on that team, who is probably not the favorite player of many people, is back. And I want to see this guy play. He's a really good Dota player. I want to see him play.
Well, you'll get to, man. You'll get to. So you can be happy about that front. You're right. I remember I won't say there was cream being had, but there was definitely some praise being given over to Solo for his play last time we got to cast him together. For me though, I'm really happy to see Team Tinkerino playing. These guys, this team actually has so many of my favorite players in it, but at the same time, I haven't seen them perform to the level I think they really can achieve.
Really?
Yeah. I think they could do so much more than what they've been doing. And what they've been doing of late hasn't been that bad. But it's not something which I go to Dota 2 Lounge and say, you know what, I will put my Arcana on this.
Toby.
I don't have
Toby,
that confidence in them.
Toby, I don't put my Arcana on Cloud 9, alright? Let's be real here. I ain't putting no Arcana on nothing. But Team Marino, Tinkerino, they're good. And I know what you mean, because when you have a fantastic roster of 5 potentially all-star players, you know, you can always expect more and more and more out of them. But the fact of the matter is, these guys, I'm pretty sure right now they maintain like an 80% win rate, and it's hard to tell because there's not been so many matches.
If you want to actually look over their last couple of games up against teams of child classes tier 1 teams, they when Na'Vi beat them 1-0. That game happened last night. They've played up against Cleve as well as Compass Gaming as well. They won both of those, but they're not the tier 1 teams. As well as PR, they beat them too. They had a best of 5 up against Na'Vi, which was a 3-1. And then the last game, which was like they actually faced up against Team Empire, they went 2-0 up against Team Empire. However, before that, VP smacked them down so hard in a 2-0 as well. Like,
and then before Empire beat them.
That wasn't even nice. Like, there's some games you say, you know what, these games can be kind of close. And then VP was just like, haha, you want to go mid-game? Here's my pushing stick. And just started poking them.
Did you catch the Cloud9 VP game? That was something.
No, I did not.
You saw that, right?
No, I did not.
I mean, there may or may not have been a roster who made it. I don't know.
Wait, was that the Luna? I was going to say, is that the Luna game? But at the same time, I'm fairly certain that MV is playing Luna in almost every game he can.
Yeah. It's kind of hard to pinpoint out. The other thing is, our Luna win rate is actually pretty good. But that roster though, that game though, oof. You watch that and you just facepalm. You're like, oh man, we're in trouble, boys. Like, we're down like 20 kills in 5 minutes. They got like 100 CS on us somehow. I don't even know how. Roshan's almost dead. Like, what's going on here?
Team Empires.
That's a rough game right there, Toby. That was a different type of rough game than the last game. Last game was a rough game too, but that was back and forth. Like the other game, as you said, man, that was just pummeling, and that was not pretty.
Well,
but I think this game's gonna be a lot prettier.
Yeah, at this point, the Mirana's in there. I don't know if you saw Nuxie's. Did you see that picture? Nuxie's new Mirana set. Oh my God, they're so beautiful. So beautiful.
Her bottom sets are all really nice. And I only know one, but it's more than good enough.
She's releasing it in like I think like she did all the concept art and the pictures for it. Like if you don't know it, Toby1 Dota, look at Facebook and Twitter. I put it over there. It's wonderful. It's amazing. But yeah, it's a really, really sexy set. But at this point, I'd say she's the only sexy one. Like Earthshaker, like you could cuddle him like a lion, but he's gonna bite. And Brewmaster, well, I don't know about him being Batrider. Definitely is not. Like that guy is just coated in everything that's sticky and you don't want to know about. So we don't have a beautiful hero lineup, but for gameplay, Earthshaker, Mirana, these two big long-range stuns and follow-ups. Batrider with the ability to just jump in and initiate, so the control over the Brewmaster is going to be critical for these guys, especially considering the Skyrats Mage just banned out early on, and the Death Prophet, so they don't have the normal stuns, which most people would be turning to.
10 seconds
up against a Razor and a Brewmaster. Two heroes that if they can, like if Brewmaster gets his ulti off,
5 seconds
and if Razor
remaining.
gets like a decently timed mech, they're really difficult to kill.
Ooh, this kind of pick though, into that kind of lineup on the side of Empire, this Lich pickup right here, this is make or break, man. This hero at TI had maybe a 15 to 20% win rate. Overall, at the end of the day, after all the changes that Lich goes through, and no matter how many people run into a wall against him or run into a wall using him, he is at the end of the day a Lich, and he will do absolutely nothing to a Tinker. Absolutely nothing. Like a Tinker will actually laugh at what a Lich does, because if you think about it, Lich denies a creep in a lane, and if Tinker's in that lane, you lose out a lot of CS, or you lose a small fraction of what you should be getting. But at the same time, if you get jungle stacks, you know Lich is not a hero that can aggress into your jungle. You know he's not a hero that can walk into your march. And Morphling, on the other hand, is really good, especially with Lich. Lich Morphling is a very potent combo that the Chinese and Vici Gaming, for example, have used. Newbie have used, we use as well. But there is an emphasis on single target for both of those heroes at this stage in the game. At the same time, that Morphling is just a fantastic counter to Batrider overall. So we'll have to see if Ancient Apparition or Elder Titan are picked up. Empire have the option of using both, although it's more in line of the Elder Titan, because you can assume that the Potom and the Earthshaker are supports, more or less. Whereas Team Marino, Tinkerino, they go by players on their roles, so I'm not entirely sure what their last pick is. Centaur would have actually been really good for them, but it would have been good against them as well, and I understand their concern of banning that out. So I'm curious to see what their last hero here is. It might be it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell. Rubik might be okay, but I think Bulba likes to play one of those walk-around heroes. He's not very good at sitting in the lane.
Yeah, he's a bit impatient.
Yeah.
I'm actually thinking that silent on the Mirana in this game.
Okay.
I'm not going to call aggro tri-lane, even though that's really possible with the Lich pickup. And if Team Arena and Tinker Arena get really greedy and pick something like an Enigma, for example, then... well, I wish them the best of luck in life, because Empire's just going to pick an aggro tri-lane hero, maybe even... I'm not going to say an Ancient Apparition, because that's not really what I'm searching for here.
Enigma is very interesting. I'm so glad you mentioned that. That could work for both teams at this point.
See, I'm worried about it for Team Empire, though, because Team Empire's already going to have enough troubles in the jungle. You talk about stacks for a Tinker. Where's Batrider meant to get his farm from? He can't always just move over and try and take Radiant camps, even though maybe he can always try and do that.
Yeah. I know what you mean, but, you know, what's actually been happening recently in a lot of scrims is teams have begun to experiment more and more with the lane Enigma. And that is really, really strong if you use it well. Like, you actually just can't beat that hero in lane with some heroes. Like a hero like Potom, for example, she will do nothing against an Enigma. She'll try to right click him a bit, realize that she loses to Eidolons, and then you forfeit life. You know, kind of just dip, ask for support, ask for ganks. Hopefully it goes well.
Just actually trying to think about how Morphling's going to deal in the later game.
He will have a very good time.
Yeah,
he will have an even better time now. There's actually no direct Morphling counter this game.
Yeah. But at the same time, Team Empire have such a huge snowball lineup that they may not even care about the Morphling at the end of the day. Like, he can do all the split push he wants, but with Visage Birds, Batrider flying around, if Batrider also does buy BTs, that means he can TP onto those birds in any situation, any position. And that's going to be even more difficult. Same for Tinker. Like, both are able to use the Visage Birds for positioning. And I get a funny feeling like it's not just for Team Empire to have that extra nuke damage up against, if they are going for an aggro tri-lane, up against a hero like Lich just to make sure he dies. But to be that positioner going into the mid game.
10 seconds remaining.
Is it Bane? I wonder what their last pick is going to be. It's the thing is, it's a Bulba hero, so
yeah,
it is Bane.
You got it.
Honestly, like, I'm gonna be real with you. That hero is actually not very good this game. Visage Birds destroy that hero completely because not only can you stun the Fiend's grip, but also Visage can just very well fight up a Bane if necessary, with levels, of course.
Yeah.
And the other thing is both their supports are extremely single target oriented. So it's one of those situations like the first game with Na'Vi and Empire. I mean, pardon me, with Alliance. What happens is you have all these single target heroes. They have a specific purpose, but it's somewhat all in because if that purpose doesn't fail, there's not too much to fall back on. Now, the only difference with the Na'Vi game was they had a Lycan. So everything just got enhanced much more than you would normally expect. With Lich and Bane, the level of enhancement and stuff to fall back on is not innately built in. With Morphling, there's something there for sure, and I do mean that Empire doesn't have a direct counter. But first of all, this is Resolution Tinker. I'm not too sure how proficient he is on Tinker, but knowing Resolution, he can pop that Morphling very quickly if he catches him out. And then, well, although it is quite the Morphling, so it's going to be hard.
That's interesting thing to actually flag right now, the fact that Resolution's back. Yeah. How long has he been back?
I actually wouldn't know.
Because Scandal, hasn't he been the man playing the mid solo for Team Empire all this time?
Yeah, I don't actually know too much about the CISC and drama, whatever business it may be, but I'm glad to see Resolution back. That guy is a phenomenal player.
Yeah, I was actually worried that he was teamless. Like, this was the only person that wasn't announced in most things.
Yeah. You know what I don't like though? I don't like solo playing support because I really wanted to see him play core. Darn it.
Man,
I have the oddest infatuation with this guy, honestly.
His support's great. His support's great, man. Like, remember.
He's a really, really good player. Like, really, really good. But, like, the more I see of people, like, downplaying this guy's ability to play, the more I just want him to prove himself. Because this guy's actually ridiculously good at Dota. Like, he's actually ridiculous.
Just remember, man, you don't have to be a core to prove yourself in Dota.
That's true. That's true.
This is what Aoi keeps telling me all the time, man.
Oh, come on.
Supports are important as well.
Let's be real here. Look at what he does every game. He goes like 20 and 0 or 0 and 20 depending on what hero. And
hey, RK did it during the last game. We didn't say, RK, man, MVP, man, MVP.
Oh, he played amazing. Of course, Alliance. RK and Bulldog, they pulled that game together, man. Bulldog.
Well, let's get our game underway. As we go into our lanes, it'll be Pycat and Koitfa. The Lich as well as the Morphling combo you're talking about. Going to be running in the middle lane up against Resolution's Tinker. And Resolution, I think he's one on the block. He's one on the block.
Oh man, that's so nice.
As far as top lane goes, it'll be an offlane Brewmaster, EGM Boots first, and Drunken Brawler first level as well. And I always want to fly is going to try and harass him out of lane, while Silent is going to be playing that core Mirana. Solo roaming Earthshaker. Only 2 clarities, however, so really not that much to roam around with, while Mag plays off lane. It's Sing Sing, Safe Lane, Razor up against a Bat Rider with Boots. But it's also Sing Sing with Boots, so Bat Rider, who may have been thinking maybe I can win on the movement speed to get away from that that leash, is not really going to happen.
It's a hard criticism to make, especially at this stage. I would be really favoring Funnick in this matchup if he played this, but I'm not too sure how well Mag can play this out. Also, Team Tinker is really good at zoning out enemy teams, because it's just like Western teams in general, one of the things they focus a lot on is their safe lane. And I mean, Boba, he used to play a core, so he knows exactly how it's done. He's going to double pull this wave, but this kind of thing is what actually gives Bat Riders opportunities to start disrupting the flow of everything. And this Razor, who's getting a huge double wave, might actually just get aggressed on and miss a lot of creeps depending on how Mag plays this. So this is going to be actually a very critical moment of the game so far. And I don't think anybody's going to die, but first bloods do happen in these kind of scenarios where double creep waves are built up.
At the same time, man, I think Mag would have preferred not to see Mud Golems in this camp. Because like the way Funnick's been doing it is every time he comes in for this kind of stuff, he then just takes the farm away. And that's not really possible this. Oh, EGM, hit by an arrow. They still have some Grave Chill here, so from Always Want to Fly, and he will slow him down. Silent, he's got Leap. This will be First Blood right now. A Leap in, which means it'll be close enough to get it. Silent, switch the aggro. Successfully done. And First Blood spilled by Team Empire on the off lane. EGM have a bit of a rough start as that Brewmaster.
You know, the other thing that's interesting to note is Resolution is actually at mid lane. He's got 4 CS, which is really good considering his scenario. On top of that, Solo is actually dedicating his entire self to stacking. This is so brilliant, and it's not something that you would see in Russian Dota. But this is the correct move. Once again, they cannot contest the jungle at all in this game. They warded the Ancients, but Dire Ancients aren't really optimal to stack unless you have a Tidehunter anyway. And this Resolution Tinker, if he doesn't die at the mid lane, he will catch up. 100%.
That's a haste rune Mag. I think Bulba just got the best nightmare he could have just then. He got it off straight away. Damn. Oh, Koitfa. Rockets from Resolution. He wasn't in range for the secondary laser. But yeah.
Oh, that hurts. That hurts.
What, did he just lose a salve or something?
Yeah, his salve was halfway, and that's a level 2 laser right there. So, Koitfa, he's probably not going to die in this lane situation, but he might get relatively low. On the other hand, Resolution, don't get baited in, my friend.
Then again, with a fissure from the side, they got Pycat in pretty close. Laser and Rockets both up, and it's almost a kill. 4 life points. 4 life points. Koitfa's got waveform. He's not going to commit. He's lost the Lich, and the new creep wave was coming in, so he could have found himself in really deep trouble just then. The 4 life points for Pycat to survive up against Resolution. Must be happy he had those 3 Ironwood branches on him.
Oh, you know what? Well, you know what I was actually hoping for? I was hoping that Resolution would give Solo his bottle, and Solo would walk it back and TP in. It's a shame he's not going to do that, because he would have gotten the stack timing as well, and that would have been really good for Resolution.
Koitfa could have actually done the same thing with his teammate, because Pycat went all the way back.
I don't think too many people think about it too often these days, but they definitely should. This bottle efficiency thing is huge ever since the courier nerfs.
And that was a long time ago, though.
Yeah.
It looks like the courier's even going a little bit of a walk down bottom lane. 1 clarity. Like, you want efficiency. This donkey is walking all the way down the bottom lane just to deliver 1 clarity to Mag. And just to, like, for the ultimate irony with the fact that Plaza Field will cancel his clarity. That'll be the ultimate irony. Looks like Bulba's coming towards the middle lane. He's actually a single-man smoke movement, looking for a kill on Resolution. But this Tinker doesn't really have much. He's 10 for 1 right now.
Yeah. I actually want
movement time. Fissure. Fissure will buy some space right now. Is Solo coming in at the perfect time? Koitfa, he's still got waveform, and Solo's trying to line up 3 heroes for the Fissure, but in the end he throws absolutely nothing. Actually, he was out of mana. Didn't realize he was still doing the clarity, but now Pycat, Firefly's on cooldown, but Pycat's locked in the corner. Solo might have waited for it, but he waited just the right amount of time. Now always gonna fly, Solo some damage, not enough to kill off Koifa. EGM thinking about diving in a little bit further. When they got a TP coming back, it's gonna be Tinker with rockets, and they're moving up. They want Koifa. He's still got waveform though. See if they do slow him down. Like a sticky napalm, there's a Firefly off cooldown for Mag. The Fissure, they got some vision here. The rockets, it's too far away. Still 90 life points they got him down to, but can't finish the job.
Now, this would have been all really okay for Empire if Koifa had to go back to base, but he's actually staying in the lane. And if Pycat decides to TP in, which I feel like he should have, because he would have been able to pick up the bottle and refresh it for Koifa, that would have been really nice. And the point I wanted to make before this fight engage happened was that the Earthshaker actually TP'd back and picked up the bottle, so they got the region that they were looking for. So it all turned out to be A-okay.
Well, I'm looking up towards top lane now. Always on a fly. This guy's almost got 4 levels. As a Visage early on. And he gave a lot of space to Silent. Silent's basically been going solo on this top lane. Kind of same thing for Sing Sing though, which is why they're almost 100% equal in farm.
Yeah. Sing Sing does have to play against the Bad Rider though, so it's a little bit more tricky.
No.
Yeah.
But both heroes kind of suffer from a lack of good right-click damage initially. So it's impressive that they got almost near perfect CS kind of thing. It's very nice to have.
Careful coming in that close, I always want to fly. I know he's got the Gravekeeper's Cloak, but EGM's now leeching the experience from this. It's mostly just the dire creep wave getting denied up by the double stack, which they have on the side.
Boba is going to have a terrible game. I can already see it. He's low level, which is fine, but this is not the type of support he enjoys playing. And when he starts getting bored, he always tells me about how he just wants to start wandering around the map, and that kind of gets you killed. And Boba, I hope you don't get yourself killed, buddy.
Man, it's got it happening again. Damn
rotations.
Damn mud golems are still there. Yeah, they're bringing a lot of people in here, but Man's kind of already done what he has to do. All the Nightmare's gonna go. Firefly's wearing off in a moment, but yeah, he's got an Invis room. So sentries, vision.
Oh, he got him.
All right. All right, Plasma Field, when you're bringing in like Plasma Field, Morphling Waveform, Frost Blast, everything you had, they threw it.
You know, I feel like Matt could have actually played that better. If he stayed around the edges of the cliffs on the right side, Morphling might have had to click past the cliff, because if he traps himself, it's just going to be annoying, and people just don't think about trapping themselves in that situation. He would have had to click past it and towards the rune, and that would have messed up his padding a little bit. It would have been a big play, something subtle, not really noticeable, but would have gotten him alive, and that would have been huge because there were a lot of heroes wasting their time, but instead it just turned out to be a gank on a level 5 Bad Rider, which was equally huge for the side of Team
Gank on top lane, solo, perfect vision block. EGM's got nowhere to go, he throws a clap down, the Silencer on top of him, 4 points up in the Starfall, and commits the arrow.
That's actually really hard to do, eh? Cancelling the animation of backswing of one of your spells to cast arrow immediately. I see Silent do it more than anybody else. It really leads me to believe he's got a lot of practice of the hero. And I think he does. Last year he played it so much. Or last TI season.
Well, that's the reason why when I saw both Earthshaker and Mirana up there, I'm just like, man, that's gotta be Silent. It's gonna be Silent on the Mirana. It's really too good to pass up. That's actually the crazy thing for Team Empire too. I know we probably talked about a lot about this a couple of months ago before TI was coming in. Talking about like diversity in teams. The ability just to change up what you'd be doing. Oh wow, Silent. He's actually almost got the kill. There's the bait out. He's going to leap himself away. Bottle charge is still available. He actually used it, but the tower hit him very early on. Always the fly is going to come into EGM. Still low on life, and because the creep wave was pulled off to the side, he didn't have any extra support coming in, but they got Sing Sing to rotate in for really no advantage. And now Solo's considering a fissure block. But that Mirana, I suppose she's got an arrow, but doesn't have life points to leap back into that engagement.
Oh, the bottom ulti. That is nice. That is really nice.
I think that's the way. They can just fissure block, Starfall, and Pycat, and Sing Sing. Oh, the arrow connects on Sing Sing. Down comes the Starfall. The Soul Assumption kills of Sing Sing, Pycat. He's got nothing else to give. And Always Wanna Fly takes a triple, almost a triple kill. The Soul Assumption damage not enough to kill off the retreating Brewmaster.
Yeah, he's really good. Just by that play, I can tell like his Visage is really, really good. There's not many Visages that would have tried that. Of course, you can kind of see it as a waste of mana because he didn't get the kill. Panda was probably going to heal anyway. But the fact that he casted that spell means that he's aware of his Soul Assumption range, which is actually huge. It's at 1400. Or no, that's the Assumption radius. Pardon me. It's still like a really, really long range nuke. and it just shows that he's versatile and he knows the ins and outs of his heroes. So now he's got level 6 by 9 minutes, has a part of his mech already, which is not too bad for himself. And of course the Earthshaker doesn't have that much, but he's been getting levels because he's got a lot of kills, a lot of assists. 4 assists out of the 5 kills that his team has. On top of all of this, Silent, who is lingering around with low HP, has a really good excuse to go back to base. It's because he got 2 kills just now. And that was really huge because, as you called it out, man, Sing rotated to the top lane. Anytime a Razor dies before the 10-minute mark, it's so much worse than like an Animage back in the day. It's just so hard to catch up. Yeah, you have to find kills to return. Otherwise,
not to mention, like that's gonna have some problems coming after it because you're delaying your mech. Like your mech's not gonna come up fast enough. You're gonna get earlier damage items coming out from a Mirana, who normally you're sitting there going, she needs more damage than just a base damage. And you're going to get that from the Mirana. She's higher up in the levels, as you said. But you can also see the difference. It's 1,200 for guys who are like neck and neck for CS. It's 1,200 net worth difference now between the Razor as well as the Mirana. The only thing which is currently working nicely for Team Tinker is the fact that the Tinker in the middle lane was shut down. But, I say but, he came up towards the jungle about 2.5 minutes ago, farmed up his Soul Ring, and now he's already up at 1,000 gold. So shortly the BTs will be coming online. Familiars are already up and running for the Visage, so always on a fly. He's going to try and coordinate these guys up, which shouldn't be much of a problem for him. Because, like, I know we were talking about his Latrak during our last game, because it was part of our trivia, but also his Visage is really exceptional. Like, there's probably 2 of his greatest heroes he plays.
Yeah, that guy had a really good Sand King at TI as well.
Oh, yeah. I almost forgot about these SK.
These Empire players, once again, I just don't know much about CIS scenes in general, so I can't speak too much, but they always just sprout up with like these random players that happen to be amazing. I guess the recent surge was Excalibur. He's lacking a lot of experience, but he's really good. And the potential for a lot of these players at the high level, even just at the high MMR circuit, it's the aptitude is there. And Koipa, you know, I think you touched upon him a little bit, but he's looking really good as well. If he gets this tower, which he will within the next 2 minutes, I believe, because this Tinker is low HP, he's not going to show himself at all, then he's going to be having a complete role with this game. He just turned on his Bassi. He's already doing just already weakening the tower on his own, and if it goes down, once again, huge surge of gold in his favor.
Resolution trying to push him out. Considering he's only got 100 life points, it's always risky coming in that close. But I'm also watching Solo getting solo experience and farm up on the top lane. And if he can get maybe just another minute up here on the top lane, that's going to be his Arcane Boots. Or if he wants to, he can be a little bit more safe about things. I say safe, more risky about things, and pick up a Blink Dagger. And a rushed up Blink Dagger. Yo, Silent, what are you doing, man? Baiting a waveform out of Koitfa.
Yeah, did you see that turnaround? That was a beautiful spin.
It's like flick shots.
Mm-hmm.
We got
Koipa gonna push out another wave here. Waveform, and onto the tower he probably goes. He knows, once again, like, he's got really good map awareness, but he knows that there's nobody that can kill him in this game. And looks like he's just gonna go for the rune, but little do
they're coming up for the kill. They know how low Silent is. He's denying up the tower.
Oh, this timing,
needs a little bit longer. He's bottling up. He's got arrow off cooldown right now, and he can see Koipa how close he is, and then Bulba, whoa, leaps away. He couldn't get the Nightmare off. Bulba will take the damage. There's TP support coming in. Fortification will be there, but the familiar drop down. It holds Koipa solo, holding onto the fissure. There goes your waveform. The fissure can't reach Pycat. The arrow's off target as well, but there's soul assumption damage. They need another stun. Totem!
Solo!
But
no! Solo, what are you doing? No! It's okay. I have a perfectly good excuse.
He forgot he had the ability?
That's what you refer to as 322, right there.
It is. Fissure will go. Sing. Oh, that's a bad position for him. Locked in the trees. The familiars have a drop down as well. So they're doing as much damage as they can. Oh, wow. He actually lost one. Trying to back himself up from a very aggressive Sing. But they rotate down. They don't get the kill on the Morphling, but they get another kill over on the Razor.
Yeah.
And they're going to deny up their bottom tier 1 tower as well. The mid tower was actually destroyed by the Radiant side. Hello, Silent. Koipa? Koipa?
What?
He's strength morphing. He's strength morphing. And there's more support coming in from Pycat now. He's got Frost as well as there. Frost Nova plus the Chain Frost. Different type of frost.
Shouldn't have used up all your breath last game, Toby. Where's the efficiency? Come on.
Don't you read the red threads, man? It's my limited vocabulary. I can only use certain words for a certain amount of time during one day.
It's okay, man. I'm ready for the German transition.
9?
9.
Oh, Mag. Really? Oh, Tinker just picked up his BTs. And he's about to pick himself up a 5 stack of Ancients.
Yep.
Not familiar.
Huge surge of gold. And EXP. Wow, Sing still doesn't have his mech. Oh yeah, he died at the bottom just now too. And the odd thing is, every time I see like an Empire versus Tinker matchup, I feel like this is really common. Team Tinker always end up pushing down the tier 1s first, whether it's like mid, safe lane, top, like it doesn't matter. Always on the side of Empire, they lose initial towers, but Empire always gets more kills. And then the game plays on. If Team Tinker have a pushing lineup, most of the time they just win. But from what I see, like this game, for example, I really feel like Empire is actually going to take this game. That is to say, depending on Morphling's performance, and this is Koipa after all, so you can assume that he's going to have a very good game no matter what.
3-man smoke move, damn solo. Even if you don't hit the stun before, these fissures have been 100% on point. That was a perfect lock-in. They can't get him through the top, they can't get in through the bottom. They literally have to walk backwards. There's no choice right there.
Dude, Toby, do you know who that is?
Oh, that's Solo.
That's Empire 322, my man. 322. You know, you ever seen 300?
Yes.
Yeah, 322, you know. That's hard, dude.
What would have happened if they only had 22 more guys?
Seriously.
Yeah.
Greece would take over Europe.
Alright, move on back into real world.
Blink Dagger's been picked up by Mag. He's got the smoke up now. They're gonna rotate top, and this is the type of Empire push that's normally expected. They kind of just weaken up towers before they engage in a push. I don't see Empire pick too many pushing lineups per se. They're just like a super fighting team.
Same thing's gonna be really careful here.
Yeah.
Great TP in there, Tinker. Mag, however, he's got Blink Dagger. Jumps the fish. It's gonna hold Sing Sing here, and they do actually lasso him up. And now Echo Slam from Solo. Committal is high. They take the tower. They take Sing Sing, and man, he's gonna be a sad man. At least he can afford Sloppy's mech, but he's 0 for 3 on a Razor. 14 minutes in, he's got treads and mech. That's actually quite nice considering his stats, like his KDR. But still, you do not want to be 0-3 on a Razor.
No, he doesn't. He's not gonna have a good game. As a matter of fact, I don't think EGM's gonna have a good game either. I know he's Panda and he's about to get his Blink Dagger, and it's gonna be huge in the team fight. But this is an Earthshaker bottom. Both heroes are kind of hard to kill because Earthshaker by positioning and bottom, Visage, because Visage is tanky as well. And on top of that, they're just really far behind right now, Team Tinker. Empire is 5k gold ahead and more than 5k EXP. And now pings are coming out, but they won't catch Silent.
No. I think the goal right there from Silent was just to try and scout where they were more than actually connect on an arrow. If he wanted to connect on an arrow, he probably would have thrown it up the hill because there was a higher chance that someone would have been there. But if there was someone who just like Bulber, if he walked down the river, they have an observer ward that's sort of searching for that kind of movement, which is up on the hill right now, right next to the Radiant observer ward as well. So they were watching him, but it was yeah. Maybe they're here, maybe they're not. Let's have a bit of a peek anyway. But he's got a Yashin now, 15 minutes into this game, with his phase boots, with his drums, and with his Ring of Aquila. This is a very farmed up Mirana. Not to mention, like, he's keeping up with a Tinker who just took a 5 stack of Ancients too, and has a Blink Dagger 15 minutes into the game.
Yeah, the Tinker definitely is kind of at catch-up status. He definitely caught up. But the Potom, I would say, is relatively ahead. It's definitely the kills though. The bottle, the Yasha, everything, all those items just add up to such a huge advantage, and I wouldn't be surprised if she's top 3 on the net worth, top 2 on the net worth rather. But overall, it's just a stale game at the moment because of the heroes that are being picked. All these heroes are cores in general are hard to kill, and the Babader picked up a smoke, but he was under the guise of the Priestess ultimate, and now Sing Sing looks like the target.
Yeah, they're coming up. It's also because they got the mech over on the Visage this early on. Way! Invis Rune Solemn, but there's still a Sentry Ward there. And whoa! Committal. Mech charge will go. Fisher!
Oh, so close.
That mech was only just in range for it too. But yeah, if he threw that Fisher out, 4 heroes would be in stunning. He'll probably be up on the high ground right now.
Yeah, that would be so nice, because then so many heroes are on the map and not doing anything, whereas Mag is just getting free reign. He wasn't farming the jungle, but he could poise himself for a very nice initiation away from the enemy team. But, I mean, this still favors Empire if you look at it. They're still getting the stacks that they were looking for, and they farmed the majority of it, so there's only 4 creeps there. But Silence pushing out the bottom lane without a worry, because he just saw a whole bunch of heroes, and although they were kind of close by, they have a ward nicely poised at the rune, so they won't see any river engagements. Also now, Pycat showing himself on top of Sing Sing at the top lane, and Boba, if he decides to show himself to Empire, is going to feel very comfortable with this smoke gank here.
Yeah, they just showed everybody. Coin with no replicate. Silent kind of knows, though, they need the initial stun, and that's going to come in from Mag. That blink to lasso. But Koipa's already backing himself up. Did they... Yep. They're past the tree line, but the TP's out. And they're coming after Resolution, but they'll have to walk into a wave of March machines to do that. And they have no desire to do that.
This is Team Tinker, man. If they know one hero, it's Tinker. And they don't want to walk into March of the Machines with Intel heroes.
Do you like the positioning as well, this familiar on the top lane? It's sitting right inside the tree. So this is something which is... It's up there a little bit earlier than I thought it was going to be. But if there's any kind of vision or any kind of hero that's retreating back there, Familiar Bird for the extra stun. But it could also see if someone's just free farming up there and the Tinker can have an easy access in. Even if it's meant to be for actually the creep skipping moment.
You know what though? I personally actually...
EGM! Ah, I can't reach it far enough. It was on top of the trees. He blinked in for it as well. At the same time, tier 1 for tier 1. And always want to fly us on the run out of here. And they're going to actually trigger Moonlight Shadow. They're going to get rid of these observers and sentries on the bottom river. They're everywhere down here.
The warding between both teams is quite committed. But you know, I'm personally not a big fan of that Visage bats camping one location. I actually just prefer the Visage having the bats nearby so they can look for a solo kill. I really think that that's how it's supposed to be played. And even if the Visage dies, the bats and the nuke can usually follow up with a return kill, always. And Tinker is going to get anywhere he wants this game anyway. Like, look at the map control Empire have. Even though all their tier 1s are down, their lanes are for the most part pushed, aside from top lane. And now it looks like an engagement.
Oh, look at the fissure. EGM jumps in, he'll go for the split straight away. But already Empire have managed to go in 3 different directions. Silently got stopped up for the moment. The Lich Holder going to bounce on it, always on a fly. Next charge will go from him. Man, he's really difficult to kill off. Took a very long time to do so. Now the move up to solo, Echo Slam, Totem Stomp, Fissure follow-up. Never actually got the Fissure down, however. And Silent can't leap away. The Fiend comes up for Bulba. He gets Flame Break back. It's a double kill for Koipa, however. This Morphling rampaging through the Empire lineup. But at the same time, Resolution's back on the front lines. Koipa stun on cooldown for 2 seconds. As they're trying to get out, Mag into the tree line. Keeping that sticky napalm up. Koipa, he's coming back. He's coming onto the Familiar Birds right in front of Pycat. Triple kill coming in for the Tinker. So what looked to be a really great fight for Team Tinker turns around with just a quick couple of kills out for the Tinker, giving him now Dagon and the Ethereal Blade.
Yeah. These kind of carries like Morphlings and Tinkers, they're just like the best cleanup crew carries. They'll always come in. If you don't have a direct solution to them immediately, they'll always do their work because they just work so fast and so efficiently. This Morphling too, like, he was right-clicking this Tinker with 700 HP knowing that he can't die. I kind of feel like Resolution he could have actually just lasered, but he was afraid of the Lincoln Sphere, which was coming off cooldown anyway, so... It's a difficult scenario. On the one hand, Tinker can be anywhere with the Visage Bats if they're microed, and the Bat Rider initiation is always something to be worried about. On the other hand, this Morphling is quite fearsome himself, because with the Lincoln Sphere, already they had no counters. It just makes him that much harder to initiate on, and now he's got bats. Ooh, that's
just lost
pretty nice.
The bats.
Yeah.
That's not what Team Empire want to have happen for Resolution to have space. And Silence also not feeling too confident about this. And now, Leap, he's got to do it. But there's, luckily for him, no follow-up coming after that Leap.
You know, I almost feel like how Empire should be approaching this game is just to keep farming the enemy jungle and their own jungle, push out every wave, which they can because their heroes just allow that kind of mobility, and sneak in a Roche. I think all they want to do is just sneak in a Roche, wait for Blink Daggers. It's okay if Team Tinker have ultimates, it's okay if you're fighting into Panda ultimate, so long as Team Tinker is not pushing the issue and taking objectives from your map. Because this Morphling is literally the only concern they have right now, and speaking of which, this Morphling is about to secure another kill.
It's always going to fly on the top lane. No, he won't. Moonlight Shadow will give him some protection. He's got Mech as well as Wand, but he doesn't have a TP scroll, and yeah, Team Tinker don't know where it's going to go to until the Mirana ulti wears off, and it's right underneath the Observer Ward. So they know he's still up here. At the same time, he pulls the creep wave down, And continues on his merry way back to the tier 2 tower. They brought 3 heroes up. EGM started walking up north. And in the meantime, Silence coming in to snipe out the tier 1 tower in the mid.
Yeah, it'll go down.
Oh, there's a lasso. High Cat will go down. Resolution. Hey! There's your Dagon coming in. EGM climbs to ground before he's able to blink. He actually got attacked on the way in, which is the reason why the blink was off target. I'm assuming shift click.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
And now Team Empire. They take the tier 1 tower in the middle lane. It was destroyed by the Mirana. And Earthshaker also has his blink dagger. He's walking back to base.
Nice.
They gave him 3 waves on the bottom lane to farm up, while Team Tinker were too busy trying to look for a kill on the Visage on the top.
Yep, this is total map domination right now. Once again, Koifa's looking really, really scary, but aside from him, Team Tinker, they have no presence. As soon as Sing Sing died like the first 2 times, this mech Razor was essentially sustained for himself. And right now, sustain is not enough because he at 1300 life points, he still just gets popped by anything. This Potom can actually solo off a Razor, and that's never a situation you want to have.
I was actually kind of thinking that Silent would go into something like a Desolator just to make sure that Razor was dead. Like 100% dead. BKB or no BKB.
He might be dead right here, actually.
Only if they can get that arrow to connect.
Oh, I don't know, because what I saw happening was Resolution just unleashing his kit. Razor would have been at like 600 life points. Silent leaps in and then, I don't know, right clicks it and Star falls, and I thought the Razor would die. But it's kind of risky too because you are running into mech and heroes are off the map, so it's hard to tell. Would have been a big play nevertheless.
Well,
EGM looking for a play of his own.
Solo was looking to come down to that bottom lane. He was sitting there with Silent and went back towards the mid. They came back down towards the bottom. And now he's just stuck in limbo between basically this bottom rune area ramp going into the Radiant jungle and the ramp right next to the Roche pit. He's just moving back and forth the entire time. Not sure where he's needed. Which is kind of actually up on top lane. The Morphling is a replicate which he's sending away. And there's more TPs coming in. Mag, he's trying to reach EGM. Too far away. There's a sentry ward down, so the Moonlight Shadow won't protect them here. And I think Mag might realize this. That's why they're backing up already. In fact, yes, he does, because he has a gem on himself, so he knows exactly where these sentry wards are. Not to mention the observer ward that's back behind. It's finally brought down.
Sing Sing. Oh, that was close. Yeah, I thought he was actually going to get engaged on again. But, you know, during that time, Toby, the Firefly went down, so Team Tinker didn't lose any heroes. But Silent did so much chip damage on the tower that it's at half life points already, sub half life points, and all these heroes of Team Tinker are just sitting around the top, not really doing much.
Just chilling and relaxing, man. Sniping birds. Always on a fly, lost another one.
Yeah, but honestly, this Morphling's farm is getting so delayed. Normally, when you have a Morphling that's stacked from the get-go, you expect him to have E-Blade Lincolns by around 23-24 minutes.
Oh, free gold.
This is going to be about 27.
Free gold. Mag can get just a point-blank range lasso. Resolution's up on the high ground, and just lock him in. The Echo Slam, they want to make sure he never got a split. That was the goal right there. Of course, he could have used Totem as well as Fissure. No. But decided to go the other route.
I think he could have just fissured from a range, honestly. It would have been fine, but hey.
It's a solo, man.
The kill, right?
Kill secure.
Kill secure.
That's all going towards is well, I don't know what. Actually, would you even try and go Veil of Discord on this guy, or would you just go full maneuverability and pick up something like a Force Staff?
I would go Force Staff against Panda and all those heroes like Morphling. He's gonna jump in once and then he's gonna get kited. Hopefully, Razor's gonna get kited if you have Force Staff and all these things. This game is all about just him dropping disables, so Tinker can do all the work without getting turned on. And Team Tinker have decent heroes to turn on into a Tinker because they have Razor, which purges Tinker's spells.
I see Resolution on the top. Quofa, if he waveforms in right now, Resolution actually jumped out, and now with both E-Blade as well as Dagon, he solos the Morphling. The Fiend Script's up. Resolution needs some help. He needs something. Lich ulti. There's no bounce. Resolution. Blink. 2 seconds. 1 second. 2-3 seconds started again. Nope. The unstoppable streak will be ended. The mega kill streak ended by the Brain Sap of Bulba. That one last attack that put his Blink Dagger back onto cooldown. He was 1 second away from freedom. But while all this is going on, he still solo killed a Morphling, while the rest of his team take Roshan.
Yeah, it's still perfect. Everything is ideal in that scenario. Of course, you also forced out Bane Fiend Script, which isn't the end of the world, but it also forced out a Chain Frost as well. And although that cooldown's probably not going to be emphasized as much as something like Ravage, it's still a spell that Team Tinker are aware and say, okay, we don't have these spells right now, we can't play this specific way. Now Empire's taking over the enemy jungle, and as I say that, they're actually walking back into the lane with Mac. I think he should be farming the jungle.
Firefly, flame break, Sing Sing!
Oh my gosh.
He waited too long, he was just sitting there in the trees and he thought he was safe with the trees, but really, not the case. Firefly lassoed and just sticky napalmed up. 55 seconds on the sideline for Sing Sing. He felt confident because Silent already wafted his arrow into the wrong position, so there was no stun to stop him from TPing out, but he wasn't ready for the Batrider to be there as well.
Honestly, there's so little number of players that would have actually engaged into that. Batrider players in general would, I guess. And Mac just, props to him for just proving me wrong right there, finding the kill where it needed to be, and it was so nice. I was thinking the better idea would be not to go for something dark and clear the jungle, let your team push in the lanes some more so you can see the cores show up on the lanes. Once again, this Morphling's camping himself top, but he still doesn't have E-Blade because he died again.
Yep.
So, or he died, rather.
And right now, actually using E-Blade's not going to help him out at all, because if he uses the Ghost Scepter, then Tinker just like, sweet, well...
Oh, solo, however.
He caught Koifa. But he can't kill him, he knows he can't. All he can do is just annoy Koifa.
That was still good enough though. The fact that Koifa didn't wave out or replicate out means that the enemy actually has heroes there, and I'm sure Empire are aware of this, and as I say that, they're poisoning themselves here. That was nice. Really nice.
Solo. He really wants to go on EGM. There's TP support coming in right now, but they're still back at the tower. It wasn't actually to the creep wave, and there's a sentry ward. He started getting attacked, he knew it. Now the visual goes silent, follow up arrow, EGM, there's your Echo Slam. Mirana will get the last hit at the same time, managed to get nuked down by Koifa. Able to get that connection off finally with the E-Blade, killing up the Batrider, but Pycat in the trees, is there a stun? He blinks and he gets it too. Pycat will go down. Morphling might be out to safety, but it's a double kill coming in for the Mirana now, making her 4-1-7 on a kill death assist.
Now, Resolution's in base right now, healing up his mana pool. I think his next course of action it should have been bottom. It's not bad to go mid, but there's essentially no point because Morphling just wanted to push in the wave to force this kind of reaction. I think what should have happened is one of the other heroes should have come in, but regardless, Silent is still pushing in top lane and he has Maelstrom in his stash. On top of that, bottom lane was pushed in relatively deeply, and Sing Sing has picked up a BKB, but once again, sitting at 0-5 and in a 30-minute game with just mech and BKB, you're not having a fundraiser game.
Yeah, that's when you ask yourself the questions like, was this really worth it? Like, is it better to get your damage? Is your BKB going to do anything? I think it's a better way of actually phrasing the question.
Yeah, once again, it's just one of those
Fisher,
games.
Dagon, Arrow, that was quickly done.
Yeah, he just popped.
I saw Solo moving in from the side with Silent. I'm like, wait, that's Resolution also TPing in. Any hero on that lane would die. It wouldn't matter who it was. The hilarious thing is they found probably the tankiest one of them all. There is, however, a problem right now for the Tinker. He can't get himself out of here. Which means he can't help out Solo, who managed to get himself a really aggressive Observer Ward. But the gem on Pycat, oh, this could be big. The arrow's a little bit too short.
You know, I never learn level 3 rearm until I have my Dagon 5 and E-Blade. Even with the Sheepstick build, the Sheepstick build provides a lot more mana regen, so it helps you regen in the fountain and everything better. But with the Dagon build, it's just too slow. And Koifa on the edge of life.
Wow. He's only got 1100 of it.
Wow, that was super close.
That's a good thing he had a replicate. If he didn't have a replicate, he was dead then.
Yeah, for sure. Of course, yeah, I think he definitely was aware, but regardless, what just happened gave him enough to gauge and say that, okay, I actually can't do that anymore. If he gets caught up by a stray Earthshaker Fisher or a random bottom arrow, he's done for. Team Tinker, they can't catch a break, man. The entire map is getting choked down on them. They can't walk out of their base and have an efficient movement because they're camping so many heroes on their cores just to make sure that they don't die. It's not even to turn around the gank, it's simply so that they don't die.
Even if they come out to farm, like, I don't know if you've been watching the Tinker, every single time like the minute's coming off and there's not a important kill he's going to be part of, like, Resolution's in the Iranian jungle taking out these 3 camps. Like, every single time he wants them gone. And now he's looking at the Morphling on top lane. Coinfoot, Lincoln Sphere will protect him. And now in comes Bulba. Resolution, the Fiend script, no one's near him. Resolution will give away his life right now. There's enough damage while he's locked inside the Fiend script, but then support's coming over. That arrow from Silent, actually, what the hell? Leaps away, the Brewmaster split's already gone. The Moonlight Shadow's still protecting him. So Brewmaster actually just lets his ulti go. He could Courier? No, he won't fight. Even then, it's just a Ring of Basilius.
I mean, I guess you could say 1-1, but I really hope Resolution doesn't do that again. That was kind of... that was just iffy overall.
Arrow is coming up. They got some good vision. The Earthshaker's still in the neighborhood as well. Solo's waiting for a good position. EGM, Soul Assumption down silent with that full Mjolnir over on him. He's pumping out a lot of DPS. Solo 4-star down away from Sing Sing. So it's only 28 points of stolen damage, and Silence the man with a double kill. And the damage output into Pycat. They just keep going. And Lich, well, needs some more damage up the hill. He's got leap off cooldown. He's committing into Sing Sing. One more attack. Is it going to be enough? It is. Triple kill for Silent. You may as well have just called it an ultra. There was the Visage who picked up the 4th one there.
You know, Sing actually had Magic Stick there. I think he would have lived if he popped it. I'm not too sure if it would have mattered in the long-term game though. Once again, this is just complete dominance on Empire. As soon as the Aegis expires, and yeah, it just expired, we're looking at another countdown for roughly 2 to however many minutes, 2 to 5, and then they're gonna take this tower for now because they can. The next objective will be Roshan, and that's when we can expect some sort of heavier aggression with Tinker to fall back on. So because they honestly haven't played with the Tinker so much. It was Resolution kind of pushing out lanes and looking for kills on his own. Mag kind of doing the same thing in solo, also giving vision. But now with the next Roshan, they know that they're fully capable of just marching uphill with the March of the Machines as well.
Resolution.
And now he gets caught out. Oh, thankfully he didn't get caught out.
He blinked quick enough. That bulb of blink almost managed to catch him out with a Nightmare.
That's the other thing with Bane too. Like, that hero has such stiffy animation, and so often you'll find this hero get bogged, like right in the middle of a casting animation, like Fiend's Grip or Brain Sap. It's just so annoying to play with sometimes, and when you have a Lich partner, I'm not too sure how much you can do, really.
I don't know if you... I don't even know what the Lich is really meant to do in this game anymore. Like, it was meant to be for lane control, but there's no big team fight controller anymore. And a mini stun, oh wow. Bulba got him. He got him in the trees. There's no best. There is Moonlight Shadow will be triggered, but too loud. Resolution.
Tinker though.
The Lich only will go, and well, that's what he can do. He can help kill off the Tinker. But now you got Silent coming in with a large amount of damage as well as multiple versions of himself. And then a quick replicate away. That's just a fake Brewmaster. There's your Echo Slam from Solo. Pycat, however, picking himself up a double kill with a good Frost Blast, and Solo, well, maybe they're not too happy with this. Solo, he's into the trees and he will go down. He just dropped this. Yeah, there's a Gem of True Sight on the other side of the tree line there. And Pycat will come up and grab it. But 3 heroes for the price of 2. That Frost Blast catching out a rather over-aggressive Silent. And Earthshaker being the extra icing on the cake. And Mag is like, where's my gem? Not there anymore.
Yeah. I don't really know how much I can just like soft talk that one. I think that was just a really overall awkward play. I think everything was unnecessary, especially when Resolution got caught out. Like there was no need to commit anything at all, because the next objective that Roshan when it comes up, Empire can guarantee that. They have so much map control that all they have to do is just sit back, get Rosh, push us 5, and they'll just automatically win the team fight. But they keep isolating themselves, allowing Team Tinker to actually make use of these single target spells and disables to crawl their way back into this game.
Mag is getting himself very quickly out of that situation. He was surrounded by EGM and Bulba on the north and Pycat coming up on the south. But the Observer Ward that's down on the edge of the cliff, that's what was scouting out the movement.
Now Resolution, because of all his deaths recently, he hasn't progressed in his gold for like the last 4 minutes. Which kind of sucks, because he's ridiculously farmed, considering all things, especially the start. But now he's just evened out once again. Empire smoked up. They're going to try to rotate mid, and they probably won't find the kill. I'm really hoping that EGM doesn't stay, and there he is. He's just gonna back up. Sing Sing, on the other hand, though, if he gets caught out, that's gonna give a leeway for Empire to not only take Roche but push
EGM.
Oh,
Blink, Lasso, Fissure, Arrow, Solo, hold your ultimate. Actually, he has to. He doesn't have it. But now with EGM down, do we have buyback available? The answer is actually no. He's short by 800, 900 gold. Empire's time to come high ground. Master Machines for the cover fire. Solo's already got the Fissure over on Sing Sing, but Morphling almost pops him perfectly, and Bulba got in. He got the last hit, but he'll sacrifice his own life for it. So it's still a 2-on-1, but that large amount of physical DPS for Empire's out the window, but the burst damage is still quite high. Sing Sing having to use his 9-second BKB charge in order to survive.
Is under attack.
Honestly though, just odd fights overall. I think Silent, he should realize now that instead of trying to finish his Scotty, which I assume he's going for with the ultimate orb, he should really just buy a BKB.
Well, he might be thinking a Lincoln Sphere.
Oh, pardon me. Yeah. What am I saying? Lincoln Sphere might be fine as well. In the end, he just knows that Morphling is always going to try to pop him because he's such a high priority target. He does so much damage considering his squishiness. And they're not gonna. Team Tinker's not gonna let Silent exploit that because there's already too much damage coming out of Empire. If they had to fight up against the Potom Bad Rider as well as a Tinker at this point, it would be suicidal. So now finally Empire is deciding to slow things down a bit and go for the Roshan. This will be their guaranteed tower push, which will allow them to at least secure the tower, possibly force the fight in a favorable situation because of the Aegis. And who knows? Depending on how the fight progresses, this might be Raxus.
Oh, maybe, man. But for now, secure the first objective. That's going to be the Roshan as you're talking about. While Team Tinker just have to be as prepared as they can possibly be. Like, that's all they can really do right now.
Did that really not hit?
Did what not hit?
That was definitely in the hitbox. He shot an arrow and just skimmed right by the nick of the Roche, the mouth area or something. It definitely should have hit the hitbox.
Straight through the middle of the jawline. Doesn't actually connect.
You know why it is? It's because it's Dire Tide season, so the Roche becomes a lot more evasive.
Is it actually Dire Tide again?
I mean, I hope it is.
What? When is Halloween?
You know what happens if it's not Dire Tide,
I come from Australia. We don't actually give a crap about Halloween. When is Halloween?
It's October 31st. And Toby, you better care, man. You know, the president's Facebook is on the line here.
What?
Yeah, last year, you know, when Dire Tide wasn't happening, the president's Facebook got hacked.
That's true. That's true. Give Dire Tide was definitely up. Oh man, I can't believe it's been that. How the hell have we gone through the year so quickly?
Seriously, dude, how are you still alive, man? Did you see yourself talk last game? Oh my gosh.
Dude.
Your lifespan is looking to shorten by 5 years every game.
Easy. Resolution! Caught! No. Blink hit from EGM was absolutely perfect. Resolution's down for the count. But they use Fiend Script. I don't know if that's going to be enough to make Empire think, hey, maybe we can't get kills. But then again, Sing Sing dragged back out. He's been slowed down perfectly into the Firefly. But then BKB charge goes and Coinfer looking for a kill on Mag. Moonlight Shadow allowing Empire to move in and out of the Invis. And it's a 1-for-1 trade-off on the cause. Coinfer's BKB about to wear off and Silent. He's got an arrow of cooldown in 1 second time where the familiar birds are also here. Coinfer gets one, looking for a second, looking for a third, can't finish it. And now Always on a Fly is still here. Coinfer, no replicate. He can create one in 1 second time while Hershake can solo. He just soloed EGM a little bit further down. Now the Grave Chiller is up. Look for the arrow. New Familiar's up in the air. Solo actually getting just E-bladed down by Coinfer. But Coinfer, the Flame Break's going to bounce it back with the Starfall damage. They got him. 3 heroes down. Silence still up there. The physical DPS required to go high ground. And a catapult that's already there. The Silent doesn't want to take any extra damage than he has to here, even if he does have the Aegis of the Immortal. But it's only a Lich and a Bane trying to defend up against Team Empire. And Mag's already putting down the Firefly to make sure you can't just sit back there. Okay, no, it's gone already. That's the end of it. I was thinking maybe to keep the blinking Bane out of play.
Honestly, Coinfer should have bought back about 10 seconds ago. There's no way this tower should be going down with buyback because they can't afford to have losses like this. Tinker's going to come back in 3 seconds. Visage Bats are going to return. And Empire might turn this around on the high ground.
He's got another drop down. He couldn't get the combination off, and now Pyca's too close. Soul something damage. Whoa! Resolution! With the E-Blade attack, the lasso's on the Bulba. He won't never get his Fiend Script off. They split onto the Brewmaster. Sing Sing with that BKB again, but Mag forced up towards the high ground. Empire bailing as quickly as they can into the March Machines. The Fire Bruling already down. The Storm Bruling setting him up for Coinfer. He's taking too much damage. The stun to Silent. It won't last long. And now Resolution. Triple kill for the Tinker coming back into play. Soul Sumption damage into Sing Sing. And they just keep going. An ultra kill for Resolution. The arrow is off target. But then again, four-staffing Silent in. He's doing as much damage as he can to EGM, forcing him back inside the base. But remember, objective-based gaming. Melee racks here on the bottom. And then tier 3 tower in the mid.
I have a friend, every time I play Dota, he always goes, we're diving for kills, and he always says, objective gaming, objective gaming. Oh my gosh, Toby. Not reminiscent,
Resolution!
but honestly...
Oh, come on, man!
Resolution is not playing objective gaming right now.
He cancelled it, he saw the flame... he saw the Fiend Script coming. GG! It's over!
That's game.
Yeah, Resolution may die here because the Familiar actually ends up killing him because it bounces the Chain Frost out. But GG is the call. Game number 1. of our 2-game series of TT versus Empire. We'll go to Team Empire. Game number 2 will be coming up after this short break. The VODs for our first game are already up and running over on our Join Dota Daily Motion channel, so if you did miss Na'Vi versus Alliance, the VODs are there for your viewing pleasure. I'll have them linked up, but if you are watching right here on the Daily Motion channel, you'll find it there. If not, I'll be putting the link over on my Twitter in just a couple of moments' time. Stay tuned. Short break. Grab a breather, grab yourself a beverage, and we'll be back here for game number 2 and our final game of the D2CL night.